what is going on? It's me, Earl here, and today this is my newly acquired 2006 MacBook polycarbonate plastic white. That's quite of a handful name, but this is very interesting. This computer is, in my opinion, one of the interesting aspects of the Apple Mac lineup because this is one of the first times where Apple switched from PowerPC to Intel. Now they're switching from Intel to their own Apple chipsets. This is kind of like a history repeats itself type of situation. And this is also a computer that is severely victimized from that transition. I'm going to tell you guys why. So in 06, they had the Core Duo. This is the Core 2 Duo, which is a much better processor in comparison to the Core Duo, which just a couple months back this was released, was the current lineup. And so this is such a weird situation where the BIOS on this computer is running 32-bit, but the processor is running 64-bit. And what that creates are conflicts in the future operating systems. So let's say this is an 06, this is running OS X Tiger, which is 10.4. This can only go up to 10.6.8, which is Snow Leopard, as you can see here. And if you buy this computer, which is exactly the same from 06, 07, 08, when you buy the computer from 08, you can only go up to one operating system, which was macOS Lion from Snow Leopard. And so a lot of users with these MacBooks are basically getting rid of them because after just one operating system, they are completely obsolete. And that kind of reminds me of a lot of what's going on in today's topic of Intel to M chips. A lot of these 2015, 2016, 2017, all the way up to 2020 Intel MacBooks are perfectly running today's web browsing, all these applications, all these software. Although they might not be the fastest, the most efficient processors, they're completely fine. They can be still used even today. However, as recent as 2017 MacBooks, they've been slashed altogether in order to support the M chips more, prioritize M chips more. I think what's going to happen is that in just a couple of years, maybe even 3 years down the line, all of these Intel computers are going to be out of support for the new M chips. That just means that you really are not able to run the latest software because you're not running the latest operating system for those Intel MacBook. Anyway, going back to this one, as you can see, the fan is pretty loud for some reason. I was recording a couple of times and restarted a couple of times, and now the fan is just ramping up significantly. This also doesn't have any battery. Well, it does, but it doesn't really think it has a battery, so I'm presuming the battery is dead. To give you guys a little bit of context, this is a Core 2 Duo again, and the previous owner upgraded the memory from 1 GB to an outstanding 2 GB of RAM. This also has the upgraded 80 GB hard drive from the 60 GB base model, which is very interesting because 80 GB today, that's not enough. The iPhones have 128 base model. Even games like Grand Theft Auto requires 100 GB of storage. But the previous owners have left me some small goodies here like the original Spotify, which is really fascinating. I don't know if I should log into my Spotify account, but if I do, I'm presuming this doesn't work because I heard they stopped supporting as late as El Capitan, which is a 10.11 version, so this is a 10.6. There's no way this is going to run. So, well, we'll just forget about that. We got Skype. Let's go ahead and go to Google Chrome. And I think the problem with this computer using it in 2024 now is that a lot of these websites just require a lot more memory in general. And so 2 GB is clearly not enough in a lot of these situations. I can't believe this trackpad is just so horrendously horrible now. I mean, in my honest opinion, this is still better than a lot of the Windows trackpads today, which is kind of saying something about Apple now. Let's go ahead and go to every Mac. As you can see, web browsing on this is really not that bad when it comes to just basics, you know, like email, these old versions of websites. It can run no problems at all. Anything after that is just absolutely not usable. And we're gonna go ahead and look for our MacBook, which is one of the first ones here. Here it is, 06. Look how dim the display is. Isn't that crazy? This would not be acceptable in today's market, but I'm presuming that's just because of old age. I'm presuming that a lot. That fan is just really screaming for some reason. Let's go ahead and go to YouTube and see what we can do with it. I can't type. Ideally, I wouldn't really use Google Chrome as a web browser. They have an actual legacy web browser called Interweb, which is this one right here. In my honest opinion, any web browsing on 10.6.8 nowadays is just unbelievably very unusable. As you can see, it really just doesn't load on... Oh, it does. Okay, I take that back. The scripts on these newer browsers or new websites just, it doesn't exist in 10.6.8 Snow Leopard. Go ahead and play some jazz, see what happens. Now this is real time, so as you can see, it is very, very slow. And by no means my internet is fast, it's just the fact that this is just... Huh. Okay. You know what? That's interesting. Why is this faster than Interweb when Interweb was supposed to be a legacy browser that is supported till recently? That's pretty interesting. The speakers on this are not bad. This is version 49. This computer will no longer be supported by Google Chrome updates because blah blah blah, it's too old. Look how horrendously slow this is. Scrolling down is just really, really terrible in this. Okay, I pressed enter a couple of seconds ago and it's still quite a bit slow. Oh, here we go. Hello, Vision Pro. I think what makes this video very interesting is the fact that this is playing from a 2006 MacBook, which is almost 18 years old. You know, it's kind of like mind-boggling to see how this is still working in 2024. Not perfect and very much almost unusable, but the fact that this is working and browsing the modern internet is really fascinating to me. If you compare it from a computer from 2010, let's say, and then 15 years all the way back to 1995, that is basically unusable. There's a difference between computers before the internet and computers after the internet. Even just a couple of years before this computer, the Power Macs, they can still be used for very, very basic internet. Technology just evolves not just for faster processors, not just for faster memory, blah, 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 which it is true, but also for efficiency. And I'm just talking gibberish at this point. It even has subtitles. I think I'm gonna call it a day. I think we already got our point here. Overall, this computer, unless you're going to Linux and upgrade the RAM and switch the hard drive to SSD, you might be able to use this for a couple of more years down the road. Anyway, I think the best way to describe this video is just to show you guys how this is in 2024. Obviously, this computer is far from usable in 2024 unless you just want the basic of the basic internet browsing. You can't even run any social media apps on this, any videos or Netflix, or I was able to run SoundCloud, but that was it, you know. This computer, it was just really in a weird spot. It wasn't supported for a very long time, and I think if it was supported up to El Capitan or something like that, I would say this would still be very much usable. Linux is really the only option for this, but again, you're also trading blows between having the Apple experience of a Mac or going to Linux just for usability purposes. So I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna be uploading more of these types of videos just for curiosity purposes. So I'll see you guys later.